a different perspective becomes available, one that is less about hidden intentions and more about understanding your own emotional responses. It can be helpful to ask what is actually confirmed, what is assumed, and what is being filled in by worry. Many times, situations that feel threatening in the moment soften significantly when viewed with time and distance. If there are real-world concerns, such as disagreements, misunderstandings, or formal matters, they are best addressed through clear communication, verified information, and practical steps, rather than through speculation about motives or unseen actions. Grounding yourself in what you can directly observe helps reduce the mental escalation that often accompanies fear-based thinking. It is also useful to recognize that the mind, when under stress, tends to personalize events, making neutral or unrelated developments feel directed at us. This can create unnecessary emotional weight and confusion. By slowing down your interpretation and focusing on facts, you regain a sense of stability and choice in how you respond. Not everything that feels significant in the moment requires immediate reaction, and not every concern reflects an actual threat. Often, clarity comes when emotional intensity settles and the situation is viewed in simpler, more concrete terms. From that place, you can make decisions based on reality rather than fear, protect your peace of mind, and respond to life in a way that is measured, thoughtful, and grounded in what is truly happening, rather than what anxiety suggests might be happening. And she did not go to a weak defender. She did not choose someone uncertain. She selected someone who has not tasted defeat, not once. Someone whose presence in a courtroom makes others tremble. Someone who has built an entire identity around never losing a battle. She believes this lawyer will be the weapon that finally breaks you. But my child, breathe. Do not tremble. Do not panic. I am revealing this because nothing formed in secret stays hidden from my sight. Before she whispered your name in the wrong place, I heard it. Before she gathered her documents, I saw them. Before she rehearsed her accusations, I recorded every lie forming on her tongue. But you must understand something deeper. She is not a stranger. This is why your spirit has felt disturbed. This is why your sleep has been uneasy. This is why you have sensed a heaviness without knowing the cause. Because the one opposing you is someone who once smiled at you, someone who once spoke softly to you, someone you trusted, someone you may have even defended in the past. This is why the blow is painful. This is why the betrayal pierces. A stranger cannot wound this deeply. My child, she knows things about you, not secrets you confess to your enemies, but things you shared from a place of vulnerability, believing your heart was safe in her company. She remembers your weaknesses. She remembers your fears. She remembers your victories. She remembers the doors I opened for you. She remembers the dreams I planted inside you. And she hates them. She believes your life shines too brightly. She believes your purpose is too strong. She believes your blessing is too visible. And jealousy, when left unchecked, turns into poison. Poison becomes action, and action has led her to this moment, sitting with a lawyer, pouring out everything she knows, and forming a case meant to destroy everything I've built in you. My child, she has already paid. She has already signed. She has already committed. This is not a possibility. This is underway. The wheels have turned. The documents have been drafted. The strategies have been forged. And I need you awake. You ask, Lord, what is she coming after? My money? My reputation? My peace? You ask, Lord, is this too late? Is the damage already done? You ask, Lord, what does she want from me so badly that she would go to these lengths? My child, listen closely. She wants what I placed on your life. She wants your influence, your grace, your peace, your progress. She wants the future that was written for you before you were born. But she cannot take what I gave you. She can only try to intimidate you into surrendering it. She wants your joy to collapse. She wants your confidence to crumble. She wants your relationships to shatter. She wants your name dragged through dust. She wants people to turn against you. She wants your destiny delayed, derailed, or destroyed. She believes that if she can break your spirit, she can break your life. But my child, Hear me with authority. She underestimated the one who stands behind you. Before she began her attack, I had already positioned my defense. Before she rehearsed her accusations, I prepared a verdict in heaven. Before she hired her earthly lawyer, I stood ready as your eternal advocate. But you must allow me to step in. You must invite me to handle what you cannot see. You must let me fight where you cannot enter. Because this battle is not physical. This is not about earthly papers or human judges. This is spiritual warfare disguised as legal action. The courtroom she is dragging you toward is not built of stone. It is built of spiritual strategies designed to weaken your foundation. You have felt the spiritual pressure. You have felt the mental weight. You have felt the emotional storm. These are not random feelings. These are signs of a spiritual case forming against you. But I am the judge of all judges. I am the defender of my children. I am the voice that silences every lie. I am the one who overturns verdicts before they are spoken. And my child, before this story reaches its climax, before the gavel falls, before she thinks she has won, I will intervene in a way that exposes, dismantles, and destroys every attack planned against you. But first you must know the full truth. The woman coming against you is someone who never healed, someone who carries wounds she refused to give me, someone who hides bitterness behind a smile, someone who pretends to be whole while living in internal chaos, someone who watched you rise and despised it, someone who felt threatened by the favor on your life. You did nothing wrong. Your kindness did not stop her. Your loyalty did not soften her. Your prayers for her did not change her heart. She made her choice. And now, she believes she can break you. But my child, she forgot who you belong to. You are mine, and anyone who tries to destroy what is mine must face me. I will continue revealing everything, layer by layer, until you understand exactly what is unfolding. But for now, breathe. You are not alone. You are not unprotected. You are not undefended. I am here, and I am just getting started. My child, now that you understand the seriousness of what has begun, I need you to understand what is happening around you in the spiritual world. There are moments when everything feels heightened, as if your mind is picking up on signals that are hard to explain. Stress can make ordinary situations feel charged, like something is happening just beyond what you can clearly see or fully understand. In those moments, it is easy for thoughts to race and for the sense of pressure to grow, especially when you are already feeling vulnerable or uncertain about the direction things are taking in your life. It can start to feel like different forces are pulling at you at once, some internal, some external, creating a sense of emotional overload that is difficult to separate into clear causes. When someone feels threatened or deeply unsettled, the mind often tries to build a narrative that explains the intensity of those emotions. It may start assigning intention or meaning to others' actions, even when the full picture is not actually visible. This is part of how the brain attempts to regain control in situations that feel unpredictable. But not every fear-based interpretation reflects reality. Sometimes what feels like opposition is actually a combination of misunderstanding, miscommunication, and heightened emotional sensitivity during a stressful period. What matters most in those moments is not the story the mind creates under pressure, but the ability to pause and reconnect with what is verifiable and steady. Identity can feel especially fragile when you are overwhelmed, as though outside events might define or reshape who you are. But a person's sense of self is not as easily disrupted as fear suggests. It is built over time through choices, values, relationships, and personal resilience. Even when situations feel chaotic, that foundation remains, and it can be strengthened again through clarity, boundaries, and grounded reflection. Instead of focusing on imagined battles or unseen intentions, it often helps to return attention to what you can directly influence: your actions, your responses, and the practical steps that restore balance in your daily environment. Over time, this shift in focus reduces emotional intensity and brings back a clearer sense of direction, allowing you to feel more anchored in yourself rather than carried by fear or uncertainty. She wants the spiritual name I've given you, the one stamped on your destiny. She wants your confidence in me shaken, She wants your relationship with me disrupted. She wants your faith weakened. She believes that if she can cloud your mind with fear, you will lose sight of the truth that I walk beside you. But she is mistaken. She does not understand the depth of the covenant between me and you. She does not understand the strength of the promises over your life. She does not understand the authority you carry, even when you feel weak. She sees your silence as weakness, but I see your silence as trust. She sees your gentleness as fear, but I see your gentleness as strength. She sees your past mistakes as vulnerabilities, but I see them as testimonies. She believes she knows you, but she does not know what I placed inside you. My child, she doesn't realize you survived storms that were meant to drown you. She doesn't realize you endured pain that would have crushed others. She doesn't realize you walked through fire and came out with faith still alive. She doesn't realize you are covered by my hand. That is why I told you earlier, breathe, because your story is not in her hands. Your ending is not in her control. Your destiny is not determined by her lawyer's record. Listen to me. Her lawyer may be undefeated in earthly courts, but I am the one who governs heavenly courts. Every case brought against you in the spirit must pass through my judgment, and as long as you stay with me, nothing formed against you can succeed. My child, I know you are wondering, Lord, why would someone I cared about become my greatest threat? Why would someone I trusted choose such a dark path? Why would someone I supported turn around and seek to destroy me? The truth is painful, but necessary. Some people carry wounds so deep that your blessings feel like attacks to them. Some hearts become so bitter that your happiness feels like an insult. Some souls become so empty that your progress becomes their frustration. Some minds become so darkened that harming you seems like justice to them. She convinced herself that you stand in her way. She convinced herself that your life is blocking hers. She convinced herself that your light overshadows her, but her beliefs are rooted in lies. Lies planted by jealousy, watered by insecurity, and grown in the soil of comparison. She thinks taking from you will give her peace. She thinks hurting you will fulfill her. She thinks destroying you will elevate her. But my child, what she doesn't know is this. You are not her obstacle. You are not her enemy. You are not the cause of her failures. You are not the reason for her emptiness. The battle she started with you is a battle she began with herself long ago, and now she is trying to project her own brokenness onto your life. But hear me, this ends differently than she expects, because I am stepping into this situation. I am preparing a reversal. I am preparing a revelation. I am preparing a restoration. I am preparing a victory. Before this is finished, she will realize something powerful. You were never the one she should have feared. It was me standing behind you all along. But you must understand something else, my child. This attack is not just meant to hurt you. It's meant to distract you. It's meant to pull you away from the direction I'm leading you. It's meant to slow down your momentum. It's meant to throw your emotions into chaos. It's meant to interrupt the blessing you are about to step into. Because listen carefully, you are closer to a breakthrough than you realize. You are nearing a door the enemy hoped you would never reach. You are approaching a season that frightens darkness itself. That is why the attack came now. Not before, not later, but exactly now. It is not a coincidence. It is not random timing. This lawsuit in the spirit realm is a last attempt to knock you off course before the promise opens fully. The enemy does not attack what has no value. The enemy only attacks when something great is about to be released. The enemy only rises when heaven is preparing to lift you higher. This is not a sign of your weakness. It is evidence of your destiny. My child, the louder the attack, the greater the blessing behind it. What she thinks will ruin you will become the very thing I use to elevate you. What she thinks will break you will become the thing that strengthens you. What she thinks will silence you will become the testimony that magnifies my glory in your life. Now listen, my child, because what I am about to reveal next will expose her true motive, the real target, the exact reason she hired this undefeated lawyer and launched her attack. You must know the truth. You must be prepared. You must be aware of what she is trying to take. What she is after is deeper than anything you think. My child, open your heart now, because we are stepping deeper into the truth. You must understand the real target of this attack, because without that understanding, you will misinterpret everything happening to you. This woman is not after small things. It can start to feel like certain challenges or relationships carry far more meaning than they actually do. In that state of mind, it's easy to assign intention, depth, or hidden motives to other people's actions, especially when emotions are strong or trust feels unsettled. But in reality, most conflicts in life are far more ordinary than the mind makes them feel. People act from their own limitations, misunderstandings, insecurities, or unresolved emotions, not from a precise ability to target or control another person's future or purpose. What often feels like a threat to your direction in life is usually a reflection of internal stress, not an external force trying to interfere with something larger. Your sense of purpose, direction, and identity is not something that can be taken or erased by another person's feelings, opinions, or actions. It is shaped over time by your choices, your awareness, and the consistency with which you move toward what matters to you. When someone around you feels difficult or confrontational, it can be tempting to interpret it as something deeper or symbolic, but grounding the situation in reality helps protect your clarity. Not every disagreement carries hidden meaning, and not every emotional reaction is connected to a larger design or plan. Sometimes it is just human friction, unresolved tension, or poor communication playing out in a normal way. The most stabilizing response is to bring your attention back to what you can actually influence, your decisions, your boundaries, and the direction you choose to invest your energy in. When you do that, the emotional intensity around other people's behavior naturally loses its grip, and what remains is a clearer, more steady understanding of your own path, one that isn't dependent on interpreting others, but on building your life with intention and self-trust. She senses your growth even if you do not. She sees your future even before you understand it yourself. She sees the favor on your life, and it frightens the darkness inside her. My child, hear me. Some battles come not because of where you are, but because of where you're going. She knows something big is coming for you. She knows doors are opening. She knows your life is shifting. She knows your season is changing. And she believes that if she can strike you now, while you're near the edge of breakthrough, she can stop you before your blessings manifest. But what she doesn't understand is this: what I have ordained for you cannot be stolen. What I established for you cannot be erased. What I sealed for you cannot be canceled. Yet she is still trying. That is why she hired the lawyer. That is why she rushed into action without hesitation. That is why she attacked in silence. That is why she worked behind your back instead of confronting you. Because she believes she can win only if she catches you off guard. She wants your heart unprepared. She wants your emotions unstable. She wants your mind overwhelmed. She wants your spirit weakened. So she struck unexpectedly, hoping the timing would break you. But my child, you belong to me, and nothing catches me by surprise. Nothing moves without my knowledge. Nothing forms without my awareness. She thinks she is ahead, but in reality, she is already behind, because before her plan began, mine was already in motion. Before she spoke your name in hatred, I spoke your name in protection. Before she laid out her accusations, I wrote your vindication. Before she aligned herself with her defender, I positioned myself as yours. But you must understand the seriousness of what she is trying to accomplish. She is not only trying to damage your present, she is trying to rewrite your future. She wants your identity shattered so you lose confidence in who I say you are. She wants your voice weakened so you hesitate to speak the truth I placed inside you. She wants your spirit exhausted so you cannot stand in the authority I gave you. Because she knows something powerful. If she cannot defeat you, she will try to distract you. If she cannot break you, she will try to drain you. If she cannot steal your destiny, she will try to delay it. This is why you must stay alert. This is why you must stay steady. This is why you must stay connected to me. Because this battle is spiritual in nature, even though it looks like a legal attack. This fight is happening in the unseen realm before it reaches the physical one. That is why you have felt the sudden pressure. That is why your thoughts have felt heavy. That is why your emotions have been stirred. That is why your sleep has been disturbed. Your spirit knows what your eyes cannot yet see. But hear me again. Do not fear. Do not panic. Do not lose your peace. Because although she is coming in strength, I am coming in power. Although she is prepared, I am more prepared. Although she is confident in her lawyer, I am the judge of all creation. And while she gathers her weapons, I gather my angels. While she sets her traps, I set my protection. While she speaks her accusations, I write my truth. And while she thinks she is building a strong case against you, she does not know the reality. Her entire plan is collapsing before it even reaches you, not because of your strength, not because of your influence, not because of your ability, but because of my hand over your life. Now, my child, I must reveal something even deeper. This woman did not suddenly decide to attack you. Her heart has been preparing this for a long time. She has been harboring resentment quietly. She has been comparing herself to you in silence. She has been waiting for the right moment to act. Every blessing you received felt like a wound to her. Every step forward you took felt like an insult to her. Every victory you experienced felt like a threat to her. And instead of allowing me to heal her heart, she allowed darkness to fill it. This did not begin with your success. This began with her pain. But she made a choice. She chose to be your enemy, even while pretending to be your friend. She chose to envy your progress instead of celebrating it. She chose to imitate kindness while plotting your downfall. She chose to smile at you while carrying bitterness inside. And now the bitterness has grown into action. She thinks this legal attack, this spiritual accusation, will destroy you. But my child, she does not know who is standing with you, because now I will show you who is stepping into this courtroom with you, who is becoming your defender, who is taking the stand on your behalf. It is time for you to see who fights for you, my child. Now we have reached the moment your spirit has been waiting for. You have walked with me through every layer of this truth, and now you stand at the point where everything becomes clear. Hear me without distraction, because what I'm about to reveal seals this entire battle. You have wondered, Lord, who will defend me in this? Who will speak for me when I'm attacked? Who will stand beside me when people rise against me? My child, I will. In practical terms, situations involving conflict, accusations, or formal proceedings are best approached through preparation, clarity, and grounded decision-making, rather than certainty about guaranteed outcomes. Real-world systems do not operate on fixed or predetermined results. They respond to evidence, procedure, and how effectively each side presents its position. Because of that, emotional stability becomes a key advantage. Remaining calm, organized, and focused often matters more than reacting through fear or heightened interpretation. People under stress sometimes experience a strong internal narrative that frames the situation in absolute terms of victory or defeat, protection or threat. While emotionally understandable, this can narrow perspective and increase anxiety. A more constructive approach is to focus on what can actually be controlled, understanding the facts, seeking appropriate guidance, preparing responses carefully, and ensuring that communication remains clear and respectful. Support in real life often comes from tangible sources, such as qualified professionals, trusted advisors, or structured processes designed to ensure fairness. At the same time, personal resilience plays a major role. Maintaining rest, emotional balance, and a steady mindset helps prevent escalation of internal distress. The feeling of being defended or supported can still exist symbolically as confidence in one's ability to face challenges without collapsing under pressure. Ultimately, strength in difficult situations is built through clarity, preparation, and grounded trust in due process, rather than assumptions of predetermined outcomes. This perspective helps shift the focus from overwhelming narratives toward practical steps that restore agency, stability, and realistic confidence in handling what comes next. She has not met me. She thinks she has prepared an unbeatable argument, She does not know my authority. She thinks she has uncovered your weaknesses. She does not see the strength I placed inside you. Everything she planned will collapse in her hands. Everything she tried to build will crumble under my judgment. Everything she hoped would destroy you will be transformed into your elevation. But my child, I need you to hear this very carefully. You must not fear her. You must not fear her lawyer. You must not fear the case. You must not fear the outcome, because the outcome is mine. I decide what happens next. I decide what stands and what falls. I decide whose words matter and whose words turn to dust. And I tell you now with certainty, the attack formed against you will not stand. The plan created to ruin you will break apart. The accusation built to shame you will reverse. The darkness sent to intimidate you will disappear. And when it all ends, do you know what will remain? You, standing, stronger, wiser, protected, elevated, and untouched. But my child, there is something more powerful coming. This attack was not only meant to harm you, it was also meant to reveal you, because I have been preparing you for a new season, a season where your light grows, your influence increases, your purpose expands, and your name rises where it was once ignored. The enemy sensed the shift before you did, and that is why the attack came so suddenly, so violently, so forcefully. But what he intended as destruction, I will use as birth. A new version of you is emerging from this battle, a version more fearless, more grounded, more spiritually mature, more confident in me. And the woman who rose against you, she will see the truth with her own eyes, that the one she tried to break was the one I had already crowned. But now, my child, I must speak to the deepest part of your heart, because even though you are fighting a battle, even though you are facing betrayal, even though you are being targeted, I have not forgotten your loneliness. I have not forgotten your tears. I have not forgotten the nights you cried quietly, wondering if anyone truly sees you, truly understands you, truly loves you. My child, I have heard every silent prayer. I have felt every ache inside your chest. I have watched you love with sincerity in a world that often responds with cruelty. And now, hear me. I am going to heal you. I am going to restore you. I am going to lift you. I am going to bring the right person into your life. Someone is praying for you even now. Someone is asking me for a heart like yours. Someone desires a soul like yours. Someone is preparing to love you with the gentleness you've always deserved. They don't know your face yet, but their spirit is already reaching toward yours. There is a way of speaking to yourself, especially in difficult seasons, that can either narrow your world or slowly open it back up again. This message belongs to the second kind, less about certainty and grand declarations, and more about rebuilding a sense of inner steadiness when life has felt uncertain or emotionally heavy. At its core, it's a reminder that your experiences do not define your value, and that periods of disconnection or disappointment do not erase your capacity to build healthier, more supportive relationships moving forward. When trust has been shaken in the past, it's natural to become guarded, to question intentions, or to replay moments where you felt misunderstood or let down. But healing doesn't come from assuming that every difficulty is part of a larger hidden conflict. It comes from learning how to separate past pain from present reality, and allowing yourself to respond to life as it is now, not only as it once was. Over time, what feels like emotional protection can actually become emotional isolation if it prevents new, balanced connections from forming. So part of moving forward is gently loosening those internal defenses while still honoring the lessons you've learned. You are not required to carry every past experience as a prediction of what will happen next. Instead, you can begin to approach relationships and opportunities with clearer boundaries, better awareness, and a stronger sense of what feels healthy and mutual. Growth often looks less like dramatic turning points and more like quiet decisions to stop repeating patterns that no longer serve you. In that sense, rising is not about being chosen or separated from others, but about becoming more intentional in how you engage with your life, who you trust, and what you allow to shape your direction. From that place, peace is not something delivered from outside. It becomes something you actively build through clarity, consistency, and self-respect, even when circumstances are still unfolding and not everything feels fully resolved.